You're watching Alabama's WVUA News at 5 with your award-winning news team, Lynn Brooks, Terry Brewer, weather with Richard Scott, and sports with Gary Harris.
Coming up in home team weather, still mild this Tuesday afternoon, 64 degrees in Tuscaloosa, but much colder air back in the forecast. Really cold stuff by the weekend. Your home team weather is coming up. Stay with us.
We have an update on a shooting in Cottondale. Hear what Sheriff Ted Sexton says about people being afraid of retaliation. Also, Tuscaloosa's amphitheater getting ready for a big season of entertainment. Find out what kind of acts you can expect. And we're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Lynn Brooks.
And I'm Janie Wallace, and tonight for Terry Brewer. Topping the news, the latest developments in Tuscaloosa County on a shooting that sent 6 people to the hospital.
Tuscaloosa County Sheriff Ted Sexton has some strong words for anyone threatening retaliation against the victims. Details now in tonight's top story. It all started late Friday night at Eden's Estates in Cottondale. According to Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Unit Captain Lloyd Baker, 2 men broke into an apartment, demanded money, then opened fire. 6 people were shot, including one of the suspects. Officials say 3 people are still in the hospital. Authorities say Tavon Raleigh Thomas and Donald Wynn have both been charged in connection with the shootings. They are also charged with robbery, attempted murder, burglary, and assault. Law enforcement officials now beefing up protection of those families. Tuscaloosa County Sheriff Ted Sexton says he will not tolerate any retaliation.
I can assure you that if anybody talks about retaliation or is involved in retaliation, that we will use every resource available within the sheriff's office. I feel certain that Tommy Smith will do the same from the DA's office, but we will not tolerate, we will not condone or show any leeway whatsoever if there's any kinds of reprisal in this case, all the way through trial.
Investigators say they are also pursuing charges on a 3rd person at the party who was in possession of a firearm with an altered serial number. That is a felony here in the state of Alabama. Sheriff Sexton says there's a potential for federal charges. Of course, we will have more on the story as it develops.
Also on your Crime Watch, Tuscaloosa police are still looking for answers in 2 unsolved robberies, and you have the opportunity to help. As we have reported, the first robbery happened Friday afternoon at T&T Hobbies and Coin Shop off of Hargrove Road. The owner tells us a customer asked about a coin, then pulled out a gun and demanded money. And less than 36 hours later, another robbery just around the corner at Arby's. Police say around 8:15 Saturday night, 2 men entered the restaurant, one armed with a shotgun. Authorities say the suspects assaulted 2 customers. Now, if you have any information about this situation, these robberies, call Crime Stoppers at 752-STOP.
Today marks the 12th year of the National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, African Americans bear the greatest burden of HIV in the U.S. among all ethnic groups. The CDC estimating 1 in 16 African American men and 1 in 32 black women will be diagnosed with HIV in their lifetime. According to Billy Kirkpatrick with West Alabama AIDS Outreach, as of October 2011, African Americans made up 26% of Alabama's population, but made up 64% of all reported HIV and AIDS. Kirkpatrick says the South faces the highest number of AIDS cases in the United States.
The South is the hotbed for HIV/AIDS. We have the most new cases by far. We have the highest death rate. And until 3 years ago, we were the only region of the country where the death rate was still going up.
We'll have more information on National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day and Prevention coming up for you on WVUA News at 6.
New at 5, more than a dozen people have lost their jobs at Bryce Hospital in Tuscaloosa. According to John Ziegler with the Alabama Department of Mental Health, 16 people have been laid off. Ziegler told us the department requested 34 positions to be cut, but only 16 of the slots were actually occupied. Ziegler said the number of patients has dropped over the past several years, and the reduction was due in part to community services that are now offered to former extended care patients. He told us the final number of actual layoffs will actually depend on retirements or resignations between now and March 1st.
Tuscaloosa's amphitheater is gearing up for a big season. According to director Wendy Riggs, 2012 will bring lots of musical acts like R&B, alternative, and lots of classic rock and roll. Riggs says right now the earliest show date is tentatively set for April 6th. As we've reported, country music legend Merle Haggard has announced his plans to play at the amphitheater August 11th. Riggs says they're not allowed to announce some of the acts due to contractual obligations, but she did tell WVUA more announcements could come as early as next week.
You'll see the same mix that you did last year. I do know we're going to continue our Blues and Brews that we did last year successfully. We're going to continue to do our 4th of July concert. And I wish I could tell you because it's eating at me because it's unbelievable. I'm so excited at some of the names.
And of course, we will have all those announcements as soon as those are made. In the meantime, you can get the latest information from Tuscaloosa's amphitheater through our website, WVUATV.com. Click numbers and links.
WVUA is covering Montgomery, where lawmakers have kicked off the 2012 session. Legislators face a full agenda, including tuning up the state's controversial immigration law and balancing budgets in a difficult year. As we have reported, local delegates told us they plan to also focus on tornado recovery. The session is expected to run until mid-May, and Governor Bentley will outline his priorities tonight in the State of the State at the Capitol. And we'll have much more from Governor Bentley tonight on WVUA News at 10. Continue our coverage of the Alabama legislature. Representative Alan Harper of Aliceville says he is switching parties. Harper made the switch from the Democratic Party to Republican just hours before the start of the session. Harper said he felt he could bring more jobs into his district as a Republican. Now, he is a former official with the Tuscaloosa County Industrial Development Authority, and Harper's switch gives Republicans a 66-39 majority over Democrats in the House. And Valentine's Day is 1 week from today, and it's estimated Americans will shell out more than $17 billion this year. That's unbelievable.
Billion with a B. Wow, a lot of dough, and experts say the average person will spend about $126. That is up 9% from last year. And with the countdown on to the big day, local businesses already getting ready. Tyrick Humphrey, owner of Sue's Flowers in Northport, says they've already ordered 2,000 roses, and some of the flowers are coming from as far away as Ecuador and Holland. Humphrey told us they already have lots of people placing those orders for next week.
Today, they need to have it in today. It would be the best to guarantee that we're able to do it. At least no later than Sunday. We will be open Sunday so that you can take orders then. That way we know we can fill those orders and get those planned for delivery on Tuesday. But we will take up till Valentine's Day, and a lot of that on Valentine's Day may have to be pickups.
The National Retail Federation says the most popular gift, jewelry. Coming in second, a special night out.
Coming up in home team weather, we're dry and mild across the deep south today, but big changes are likely ahead, including cooler temperatures by the weekend. Your forecast is coming up. Stay with us.
Vending machines at one university don't just sell soda and chips, they sell the morning after pill. We'll show you where that's happening. Also, Gary Harris says the sport of lacrosse is catching on at the University of Alabama. The story later on in Alabama's home team sports.